Hello, and welcome back to the Corey Haim movie series review. This is episode 8. It's License to Drive. Daddy's Cadillac, Papa's Cadillac, you know, you name it, I've got it. Now, there is a cover-to-cover episode I've done on Lonely Tree Entertainment when I look at all the artwork. Heather Graham on, Heather Graham off. It's a PG, it's a 12. Yeah, we've talked about that on this channel before. So, it's weird because it's a year later. So Pray of the Roller Boys was last June, it's now July, the next year. And I've got no beard, as you probably noticed between the two videos. And it's been cool to sit down and sort of reflect on these videos because they've never been released and bringing them out and, you know, just enjoying Corey Haim's work. And like really going through the entire catalogue and finding stuff I haven't even seen. So there's a lot to come in this series because technically this is episode 49. But it's not. It's going to be episode 8. Because I've decided to redo License to Drive, mainly because I put it on. My beard is ridiculously long. Could be some overlays, could not be some overlays. It's UV lit, it's pitch black. I'm talking about this, I'm talking about that, I'm talking about that. I've just got me signed Corey Haim print, License to Drive Laserdisc just there. I could have been talking about the American VHS I've just got. I'll always be talking about when I got the VHS from New Zealand sticking on the wall. I'll always be talking about the big box VHS, the small box VHS where I got it. I couldn't even mention the poster. I didn't. I waffled away. I could have read the book. I waffled away for ages. For 2.5 minutes. I say ages, so 2.5 minutes sitting in there talking about the movie. Then spent 8.5 minutes of the review talking about people driving. That's not what people clicked on the video for. So I am going to release that as a bonus episode once the entire series is done. Like 45 episodes that way. So let's talk about License to Drive. Coming off the back burner of The Lost Boys, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, after years of auditioning for the same roles like Lucas or in Mouth for the Goonies, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman became friends because their name is Corey. And their name, the favourite numbers are 222 and all that kind of stuff. So basically, you know, they had on-screen chemistry. And I say what, can you tell me what the other actor is called who plays the other friend? I can't. It should have cast Jameson Newland, and Jameson Newland went off to do the Blob about this time. But again, I think like, it's Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, front cover. No Heather Graham, she is on the cover, but her name is not there, as I got added later on. I could even been talking about the vinyl soundtrack, which is great by the way. So they've got hot of chemistry of Lost Boys thrown in this Teen Fried Frobs. Can you imagine if River Phoenix was the other friend? Can you imagine if they cast another icon in that role? But again, it's Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, double team. Even though Haim sort of takes the role. They wanted to do other roles. Feldman wanted to be let Lance the lead, but didn't come to fruition. But I think Feldman takes this really well because Feldman almost looks like he falls out of this movie into The Burbs. He could almost be the same kind of era of character, especially his hair at that time. Him literally looks like he's flushing out. Now this is just before Roomies and he let his hair really grow out. But again, they go into this movie. Great, well-directed movie. Great, well-directed movie. Well, wrongly spoken, Stephen. It hits off with a classic Drive My Car, you know, the soundtrack's there. It's packed, the soundtrack. It's even got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Jazzy Jeff when Haim is trying to reverse maneuver into the car parking space. And Uncle Phil, Shredder himself, I don't know that guy's name, but off the top of my head, is in the car. I mean, talking fucking hell, foreshadowing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The film's a laugh out loud. I mean, I think one of the things I did remember when I was obviously high, in the video you will see, obviously it's a 12 now in the UK. It has been released by Second Sight for a very, very limited run. They came along this label and did like Mac and Me, Garbage Pail Kids, then poof, gone. The DVD came out with a very, very compromising look of it. Yeah, really dimmed down the cover, added Heather Graham's name on it. But and if you want to get this now and you want to get it in the best possible format possible going, you need Daddy's Cadillac from Amazon DE with brand new artwork for the first time seen. Looks stunning, absolutely stunning, and don't fuck with the DVR there. So there's an F-bomb in that. So again, it would have been chopped back the day because it was a PG. And if you ever see Welcome to the Land of the Long White Cloud, when I drop my spoon or fork and find that stuck to the thing. This film is like seen it all the way around the world, and I was going to have great memories of it. So that's why when I said I seen this review and I absolutely butchered it, I thought no, because someone's going to click on this one, especially on the Corey Haim Walking Through the Raindrops page. And thanks very much, guys, for letting me post the videos. I thought with that, I thought it own people to click on and think I'm absolutely bonkers Raj about all these people and all these crazy events of just driving. But again, License to Drive, I thought I'll throw it in there. There's some great comedy in this. There's some great spoofs of Nightmare on Elm Street in there. I think Feldman takes a really funny back seat. Again, I think the other friend should be well cast. The bit where the guy falls asleep is so funny. There is a lot of faces you'll recognise in there, like Richard Mercer's in there as well from The Thing and It. He's in there. It's a creepy woman from the Addams Family as well. And also it's the guy from Coffee from Dante's Peak. He's in there. There's loads of familiar faces. And it's a shame that this hasn't found a Blu-ray release within the UK yet. It's on SBS Fox, so technically it's somewhere in the Disney vault by the looks of it. Because Fox just appears across everything, even from America to New Zealand and then even in England. So CSB Fox has their name on all that. So where that lands, where'd I put that DVD I just had? When it come out in the UK, Second Sight have just done Dog Soldiers. Second Sight have done some really brilliant additions, but this is very early on in Second Sight's running, so who knows? It's been on Sky Movies as well. But again, I think this is the one where Haim and Feldman had brilliant chemistry, which would lead them on to go stuff like Last Resort. We'll get there with that. Blown Away don't really work well as brothers, but again, the chemistry from the Lost Boys comes across in this. And the film, I always remember this film is so colourful, and I always find it funny that Haim never really had a driving licence, and they wanted to do License to Fly, which they probably should have on top of that. But again, that's why they marketed stuff like Dream Machine later on. Oh, I'm foreshadowing something. Keep an eye on these shelves all the way through this series. I know in the last one, with Prayer of the Roller Boys, that fell down. That's what happens when the shelves fall down. But yeah, Corey Haim is back behind the wheel. Obviously, even pushing him on there that, you know, a laugh out loud comedy. Evan Richards, who is in Rock and Roll High School Forever, plays the friend of Haim and that, and friend of Feldman and that. Is another one that could have probably cast Feldman as his buddy. I always think that Haim should have turned up in The Burbs as Feldman's random friend when Bruce Dern goes, "Hey lamo, get this lamo out of my yard." I always think that should have been him. I think that's a really good cameo, but again, stars didn't align for much, but they're aligned with License to Drive. Some guys get all the breaks upon on that. As I said, I've talked about the artwork, how it's changed, and it's been a massive part of my life. I was once late for work, and Casper had to drive us to work, and it's even got me hanging in the back of the car, throwing this film all around the place. So I've got massive love for it. And as a collector, I've got massive stories about finding from New Zealand to America to England to even randomly on the shop, or even going to Blockbusters back in the day and asking them if they could order a sell-through version of it just to get a hold of it. It had a bit of a hit in England and then just fucking disappeared. See you in the outtakes. I don't know where I
Give us this. That's good. Good. Awesome.
So, why didn't we get to Fever Lake? I believe Fever Lake might be the next one still. I think the whole idea of it, having to watch it in Japanese, which we'll get there with that. And also, I think of again, getting the Haim. So you probably noticed with this episode as well, if you go back and watch the start, the episode actually intro has that on rather than the shitty top shot that was there for quite a few episodes until I get that. So again, it changed eventually. The intro changes just slightly as well. So again, thank you very much for everyone who's watching these videos and just reaching out and talking about Corey Haim. As I said, oh my god, the king of VHS. I've left my phone downstairs. There's a lad said he was King Frank. Hope it's Frank. Again, saying the king of VHS, and he was. I think Haim was more the king of VHS over Feldman. Feldman is in a lot of films up there as well, but Haim's marketing on the front cover of all them. So yeah, thanks for watching this. Enjoy the series, and again, the original episode, License to Drive, the original one, will come way after. Well, it's going to be like literally like the bonus episode, isn't it? The one after the final episode. That's been ongoing for a while. Stop waffling, Stephen. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.